Exciting times, folks. We've got all the Lego in. I present all the Lego, at least all of our stuff that we're planning on putting in the Lego City. Obviously, all of our display stuff is staying at home. I haven't even started on setting up our room at home for us to build and stream and display in. But I took one more afternoon of trips. A few days ago, it was like 4 more trips to get absolutely everything over. But we now have every modular I own, every Lego City set, and everything that could potentially be something that we'd want to have as part of the new Lego City. Which does mean amongst all of the modulars, we've also got quite a lot of loose Lego, the odd set that's waiting to be built, like the ramp, the Lego City ramp that we've got over there, a few that are very much in a state of disrepair, like those trains, and then just the odd box of just loose, random stuff that, I mean, that, we did have an accident. That is the Home Alone house in there. And that's the problem with it being all connected together with the light kit. It just made it so flimsy and it has completely fallen apart. So I think the Home Alone house is going to have a rebuild. We've got a bunch more loose stuff in there, a lot of beach stuff, and loads of road plate and whatnot in there. But on the whole, I think the majority of the collection has survived quite well. We had a couple of bits have fallen off the X-Mansion, so the X-Mansion is going to need a bit of work, but we're planning on doing an expansion anyway. We've had a few bits fall off of the Sanctum Sanctorum as well, and of course the one that was worst for wears, if you didn't watch right to the end of the previous video, you might have missed the Daily Bugle collapse, which thankfully the majority of the collapse was just it coming apart the way it's supposed to. It's a modular building, each floor is supposed to come apart, but we have got a few remnants and bits that we're going to need to work out how to get all of this back in, but the majority of it is in now. I mean, again, you can see we've just got bits of collapsed glass and stuff all the way through there. So the bugle is going to need a little bit of work, and that will be done today. And we've got some, in fact, we have got lots of new train track because I've made a purchase, because we discussed this at length in the old Lego City. None of us like this train. I don't like this train. You don't like this train. It's the current Lego City train. It's not a very good train. So in the tram area, I'm planning on motorising the downtown streetcar that came out last year. So that'll be running on the top layer. But on this bottom level, I've made a purchase. And I haven't even opened it yet. I got this off of eBay. I think I got a really good deal. It's pre-owned, which I tend not to buy a lot of pre-owned stuff, but it was off somebody who had a lot of very good reviews. They seem to sell a lot of Lego. I think they're just basically selling off their entire Lego collection, which they've kept really nice. And this bundle set, I was watching anyway, and I think it was Saturday night last week. They did a big price reduction on their bundle. So the bundle includes a load of track, and I need a load of track. I mean, the boxes are still in completely fine condition, but it's not about the track. Although the track is useful, we've got some minifigs and stuff in there as well. But the main reason for the purchase an actual good train, and I've also ordered another of the actual train as well without the motor in, so that we can have a train at both ends. I don't have any more of the carriages, but we'll have a train at both ends because this one is going to shuttle back and forth. But this should be the full train and station setup. This is the previous Lego City train, which I'm hoping is going to look a little bit more like a train. Oh, and in fact, we've got a bunch more track in here as well, which I've opened the wrong way up, so the boxes are now empty, but I knew there was more track. I was a little bit confused where all the track was. It's all in here. We've got a lot of track now, which is handy, because we need a lot of track. I'm hoping somewhere under this is the train. So much track. It was 3 different boxes of track, plus the original set. So it was mainly for the track. The train was a lovely bonus. So I think I only paid about £80 for this. So I got a very good deal. There we go. It's going to need a little bit of a rebuild. It's not completely disassembled, but it should all be. It's all there. I'm sure it's all there. I'll have to give that a proper rebuild at some point, but all the instructions and everything is in there. We've got the powered up kit, which is the important part, but it's an actual train that looks like a train. So we'll sort that at some point as well, along with all the new track. And the track is going to be useful for my plan for today. Today we're not building trains, but we are going to be messing around with track. And by the end of this video, I realise this has been like a 10-minute intro. Editing Kev, do your best on this one. But by the end of this video, I would like to have our first city layout in. Obviously, it's not going to be anything close to finalised. It's more a case of working out what we need, working out where the gaps are going to be, working out if we've got enough road and track to find out if we need to buy more of that, working out if we need to buy more base plates, because although I've got designs in my head, I've got designs that I've done in Excel, what I haven't got is a full inventory of everything that we've got. Certainly, I mean, I know what modulars and stuff that I've got. I have absolutely no idea how many road plates I've got. I have no idea how many pieces of train track I've got, or even how many I need for the plan that I've got. So the plan for today is get the main city area layout as close as we can get it with what we've got. And there are going to be a lot of gaps. There's 8 modulars. 8 of the official modulars we're still planning on getting by the end of the year, so there'll be gaps for those. There's plus all the custom bits that we're looking on doing, like the Block Party HQ, the SIT complex, the metro station that I've already got all the parts for. We're going to have our whole patrons alley. There's going to be a lot of gaps, but if we can at least get as much of the road in as we can and work out what we need, it just makes the rest of the process run that bit smoother. I also need to test if the Lego City ramp is going to do what I hope it's going to do and allow us to have a sloping road that goes from the top platform to the bottom platform. So that's the plan. I kind of wish I'd have done this before I started bringing the modulars in, because I'm not blessed in here with a lot of floor space to put all the modulars on and then get the road in and then put everything back again. So I think what I'm going to do is clear this end of the tables off, because nothing is going to be going on here today. So clear that off and then move all the modular buildings over there, try and repair the Daily Bugle and a few other bits that need repairing as I do it, and then start from that end, get all the train track and all the road in, and then start to move the modulars back across and see where we are. I've also got some of my magnetic lights in as well, so we should be a little bit better lit from all angles now, which was something I wasn't completely happy with before, but I think we are probably doing better for lighting now. So I'll finish my coffee and then get to moving stuff around, I guess. It's going to be a busy one.
Right, past Kev, we need to have a word, because this is 2 videos in a row where you very clearly purchased a coffee and brought it with you. You have a spare coffee machine at home. You could take it to the storage unit. They even offer free tea and coffee there on location. Stop buying coffee, you money-wasting monster. That being said, as you can see, I very quickly got distracted from my job clearing the room properly and decided to assemble this set just to get an idea of if it will actually work for the plan I've got in mind for it. I did still move the sets, sort of. You can see there's still loads on the raised platform at the back, but we get those off here as well. And then I think I'm about to come and have a little chat with you.
Right, so we've got this pretty much cleared to the point that I need it. We've got all of the vehicles and beach stuff over here. We did have a casualty. I dropped the Lego truck, so we've got lots of parts of Lego truck. We have completely cleared the top off because I need to see if I've got enough train track to fit on there. All the modulars are over on this side. It actually looks pretty cool like that. What a collection. And I've also assembled this just to see if it's going to be suitable. I think it's certainly the right kind of concept. Obviously when it's on a Mills plate, it's going to be a little bit higher as well. It's not quite going to make the distance, so I think we're probably going to have to do a custom version of it where we use 2 road plates and have a slightly less steep angle, but it should be doable. But I mean, the concept is right, it's just not quite there. It's a cool set, by the way. You've got this little thing where you push off at the top there to release both of the cars at the same time, and then they race to the bottom. It's a nice set, only 20 quid in B&M at the moment, apparently. I paid nearly double that when it first came out. But yeah, concept-wise, that works, but actual usefulness in its current state, less so. So we'll put that over here. So the job now is to get these placeholder base plates out, get as much train track as I've got in and see if I need any more, get the roads in, and then we can start placing modulars. I've got about an hour until I need to go and pick Anna up from Andy's house. It'll be fine.
And we start this job off with a task I've not really been looking forward to, which is trying to work out what I've actually already got in terms of road plate. Obviously, we all had it set up, customized to work with the shelf city that we were operating before. And a lot of this, although it's already built into road plates, is probably going to need rebuilding. It was handy to realize I've got exactly the right amount to have the roadside tram area that I'm planning on, and just about enough track with the new purchase to get the loop in at the top as well, which is good news.
Right, lots of playing around with train track, including the bottom falling out of the box that I got off of eBay, so I've had to build that train. In fact, it was pretty much assembled anyway. It's such an improvement over the one we had before. It looks like a real train compared to that one that looks like a toy train. I just need to build the other one for the other end of it, which is in that jiffy bag down there. I bought that on eBay as well, just without any of the innards, so it could just be dragged along. And we've moved the tram up to this top level. So that's the loop we're going to have around the top here. It stops before the end because I think the new plan is this area at the end here is going to be a little bit of a mini hill where Lion Knight's Castle and a little medieval area is going to be just up there, like as a historical section of the city, high point up on a hill, because then we can use this more for city stuff. So I think that's how I've adjusted that plan. I think I've shown you that plan. But this goes all the way down to this end. The amusement park will be within this, so we'll like have the loop coaster at the back there and various rides in here. I think the X mansion will be about here, and then the city will be for the rest of the room over that side. So I've got the train track in. I know I've got enough for those two lines. As per my diagram, I do want a third line. I want a track that runs up the side, this side of the city, and runs over into what is going to be like a dock and industrial area over here. I don't have enough track for that, but that's also not a priority at the moment. That's like 6 months down the line when we start doing stuff with this table kind of deal. So we don't need to worry about that just yet, I don't think. So next step is get the roads in, and then we can start placing some modulars. We're getting there. We're getting close to a layout.
And what I'm very quickly realising is playing with train track, much more fun than playing with roads. So you can see I am kind of slotting the roads in as I go, but very much mixing it in with bringing in some of the modulars and starting to get a little bit of a layout in mind. I have the plan for how I want both levels of this to look, but the road plate, until it's properly like prettied up, does just look a little bit rubbish. And I realised I don't have anywhere near enough, so we need to place an order.
And I think we have our first layout in place, which I think the best viewing spot for it is over here. Obviously, it's pretty empty still. It's served its purpose. I know that I need more road plate, so we've managed to get a road going around here. We've got the train line there. This area around the edge will just be like a pedestrian area all the way around. I figured if I have stuff right up to the edge of the table, I'm just going to constantly knock it off. Although we will have another train line running along here, which will go underneath and pop out on this table, but we don't have the train track for that at the moment. But we've got bits of road in just to kind of indicate where the roads are. So we have this main road with the tram embedded in it. The tram will also be embedded in it around the side there as well, but I don't have the parts for that yet. And you can see we just have these kind of roads going down between these blocks of modulars. There's quite a lot of gaps where modulars will be. There's the 8 official ones plus some of the custom ones. There's probably like 10 or 12 buildings missing from what I've got on my plan. I realised on my plan I had no jazz club. So for now, we've just kind of squeezed the jazz club in here. This area around the botanical garden is all going to be paved off like a town square. And I plan to have the town hall there next to Brickcross Station, again looking out at the town square with the botanical garden. There'll be retaining walls all the way around. There'll be a tunnel here for the roads to go through, and I've just put that city set back in just to indicate that's where the roads will go up. So there won't be buildings necessarily either side of that, although there might be. The Bricklink Designer Program construction set might go in there. just to show that we could put something there, but we probably never will because it will always have the sloping road next to it. But I like the way the town hall will feed off into the town square and then this whole pedestrian area. And the best looking modulars at the front here, although I have realised we've got boutique hotel wrong. Hold on. Maybe we'll put the boutique hotel there at the end of that little row, and then we'll need something else on this corner next to the Natural History Museum and Tudor corner. This little corner here is being saved for cafe corner when I eventually part that out, and you can see I've set aside quite a large area for the expansion, which will be going in there, and then this pretty much this whole area here will be amusement park, and then our little seaside town there, and Lion Knight's Castle, medieval, going into like more industrial sea. So my idea is this bit that goes beyond this table on both sides will be sea. So here it will be like docklands and big ships and work stuff, and over this side it will be beach, but those areas will pretty much be sea on both sides. So the coastline kind of runs along here and we're stood in the sea on this bit. That's the way I'm looking at it, but I think it works quite well. A couple of things we might end up tweaking as time goes on. I'm not sure how I feel about having the two big marble skyscrapers sideways on like that. I mean, it looks quite good from here because you can see the Daily Bugle sign, you can see the Avengers sign, but if you look at it from here, it's nowhere near as good, is it? So we might have to have them back to all, but of course if we do that we have to completely rethink how that top area is going to go, because if we have a row of buildings at the back we can't really have the roads cutting between it. So there'll be lots of reshuffling and rethinking as time goes on, but I now need to make a list of parts that I need, specifically road plates and some more of these half base plates to go around the edge, and then I guess from here we just make a massive to-do list and start working. We've got buildings to put in. I've got about 4 custom buildings where I've got the parts and I'm ready to build them, and I just haven't had the time or the space to do it, so we can get started on them. I have got one of the 8 missing modulars as well, so there'll be a video on that soon. I've picked that up off of eBay. So it is going to start to fill up, and then obviously we're going to do stuff like detailing the roads, detailing the track, getting the trains in and powered and automated. The list goes on and on and on. Feel free to use the comment section to tell me the stuff that you'd have high up on your to-do list. And then once we've finished the city area, we've then got the industrial area, the medieval area, the amusement park, the beach area. We've got other districts to add in as well. This is, anyone who thought this was going to be done in a couple of months, it ain't going to be done in a couple of months. It's going to be a couple of months until we've probably got the city done, and even then it will never be done. And then we can start opening up some of the other districts as well. But I'm really happy with that as a first. There you go. I think it really does demonstrate just how much space we've got, because when I was in my old Lego room at the old house, that was full. When we were on the shelf, that was full. I've put everything I own and then some on this, and it's not even a quarter full. There's so many gaps. There's so much room to play with. It's going to be awesome. But for now, I think we'll wrap this video up here. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for loads more Lego content. And thank you very much for watching.